Everybody. So I didn't intend on making this video at all today. I had no intentions. It just kind of randomly happened, as many things in real estate do. And so I wanted to kind of share a day in the life. Now, this video is not going to be edited. It's not going to be shopped around and with music playing in the background and show me drinking $12 coffee and time blocking and being like, oh, at 9 a.m. I do this, and then at 10 a.m. I do this, and then I have lunch, and then I take my dog for a walk, and then I have a showing, and then I have a listing appointment, and then I draw up contracts, and then I negotiate repair amendments, right? Because a day in the life of what I would call a busy real estate agent is unpredictable. And it's so, today is such a perfect example. And I don't have any notes. I'm literally spending, no joke, I probably will spend 6 to 7 hours in my car today, driving. I'm not even joking at all. So here's how my schedule played out today. I had a 9:15 closing. Well, really met there about 9 o'clock. The buyer had already signed. We had to pick up closing documents, and then had to get the documents for my compliance, and then we had to get his keys and everything, make sure everything was good. So boom, met there, good to go. And then we still had to do a home warranty situation for him. So we get everything cleared up. I start making phone calls to figure out this home warranty situation for him, which we've still not figured out. I'm still in the process of doing that in my car, basically. And then I had a 10:15 in Harriman, right? So I want to pretend that if you're watching this video, you know East Tennessee, you know the area. So I'm in Knoxville. And then I have a 10:15 in Harriman. A random person reached out to me yesterday, wanted to see a house. Don't know him, never worked with him before. No clue. Sure, yeah, I'll show you the house. No problem. Got it confirmed. Get to the house. I always like to get there usually 15 minutes early. So I get there plenty early. I'm doing my walk around, trying to find out any issues, make sure I can point out the obvious stuff, anything wrong with the home to them. Well, it's at 10:15. Well, all of a sudden 10:20 gets there. It's not there. I reach out to them, no response. 10:25, 10:30 gets here, no response. And now they're over 15 minutes late and they're not responding to me. I'm assuming I got no call, no show, which happens in this industry. I even talk about it to my agents all the time. Always confirm the morning before, or if it's a long, confirm, right before you leave. If it's, long, something drawn out. And I didn't do it. They reached out to me, just as an individual. I felt pretty confident about it. And so I left. And sure enough, I had an 11:15 showing in Oak Ridge. So, I didn't have a whole lot of time. Anyways, I'd only planned for a 30-minute showing, which is pretty typical. So I gave them a good 20, 25 minutes, nothing. Well, I leave 5 minutes later, get a call. Hey, Steven, we're here at the property. I'm like, well, we're going to have to reschedule because I have to be here in Oak Ridge. I'm like, when works for you? So they say after 2 o'clock. I was like, all right, great. Well, when can you be there? So they said we can be here back at 2:30. So I said, great. So I head to Oak Ridge. We do the 11:15. By this time too, right, I haven't eaten, and I like to eat every 2 or 3 hours. If you know me, try to eat somewhat healthy and keep the metabolism rolling. And this is what really sucks about real estate when you get really busy, is you just find yourself in situations where you're in your car for 6, 7 hours, and you got to stop and get, fast food or whatever it may be. If it's early, I can hold off and eat pretty healthy, but the later in the day it gets and the hungrier I get, boy, the more fast food sounds good, and that's why I am no longer skinny and my face is fat. But so we do that. I get this rescheduled for 2:30. Well, sure enough, I get another showing request to come in. And I'm not telling you, I'm just telling you as the day progresses. A lot of this stuff was kind of scheduled and stuff. Because I did have a 4:15 scheduled. I had a 5:15 scheduled, and then I had a 6 o'clock scheduled already. But let's get back. So, right, I finished my 11:15 there. And then I head back. I go straight home to eat. I was trying to actually go and have a little afternoon basketball sesh. They play at 12 o'clock at Fort Sanders, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I usually like to try to go and play for 30, 45 minutes to get some good cardio in. Wasn't able to do that. So got home at 8, got a call and said, hey, we'd like to see this house in Maynardville, which again, I'm back in West Knoxville, which is where I live at. Which Maynardville is like an hour northeast, which is where I'm headed right now. Hey, we'd like to see this house in Maynardville. And I was like, well, you know, kind of based on situation, none of the agents kind of get to it just based on the logistics of it. So the soonest I could get to it was, which will probably be here at 4:15, 4:30. They said that was fine. So literally got done there, got on there, had a person call me. This is a little side note. Person call me, reach out to me on an insurance quote. So home, eat, done, do some stuff for an insurance quote, get that done, have to head back out back to the Harriman showing, get there, meet them. They were there on time, which is always great. And now I'm in my car headed to Maynardville. And so the showings that I had after this one, right? So I'll get up here about 4:15. I'm just gonna say a 30-minute showing here. I did have a 5 o'clock scheduled in Wartburg here, but I had to call them. It was a listing appointment. I was able to kind of rearrange that for either late this evening or another day because they're not in any type of hurry anyways for this listing appointment, so it's not a big deal. I'd already worked with them before. And so I will leave from Maynardville. Time I'm done up here, I have a 6 o'clock in Oliver Springs. So I'm going to try to make that. Hopefully won't be late. And then do that and then head to Wartburg again for that listing appointment that I had to push out. And then I probably should get home. Let's say if I'm in Wartburg at 6:45, at 20 minutes, I'm there for 20 minutes. By the time I get home, I will probably get home by 8 o'clock. And essentially, that is all windshield time. Well, at least 3/4 of it's windshield time. I don't know what hours that equates to. My brain's kind of already fried. But that is a day in the life of a real estate agent. You have to always be willing to adapt, change your schedule. If you're somebody that stresses out really easy or that lacks structure, being a real estate agent is not for you. I tell that to people all the time. And I'll be honest, like, is this work hard? No, it's really easy to go into, well, I don't say really easy. You got to be able to do logistics and mapping and timing, and that plays a lot to it. But the more you do it, you're going to get better at it. Nothing hard about it, and so I always tell people when they talk to me about becoming a real estate agent, so real estate is not hard. You've got to be willing to do sacrifices, right? So, you know, are you willing to sacrifice time with friends and family? Are you willing to change your schedule last minute as a sacrifice?
In 600 feet, use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto Tennessee 33 North.
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to go around him. Until he turns. But it's all about sacrifices and your schedule because, you know, we're on other people's time. And this goes into account of just my schedule, right? This is not taking into account how many phone calls I'm going to get, how many text messages I'm getting, all the contracts I'm
at the light, use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto Tennessee 33
anything
North.
Upcoming that we're trying to schedule. My agent's calling me based on situations. How would you do this? How would you handle this? Hey, we have questions. Right? It doesn't take into account any of this. You know, we have our back-end operations stuff working on things. They have questions to me as we're always trying to make things better and implement new processes and strategies to, you know, be more efficient and to make our customer experience even better. So it doesn't equate into all this. But this really is what I would call again, not a typical, this is a busy day. It's a lot of showings. But it is a day in the life. You know, it's time blocking in real estate as you see these videos on TikTok and, you know, that go viral and all this stuff. I mean, again, I'm not like saying they're just straight fake. I'm not saying a day couldn't be like that. Those are not your average day. A lot of times that's a day for a person who's trying to get their name out there and all that, because otherwise I don't see how they have time to do all that at all. But yeah, I wanted to share just what a crazy day this is going to turn out to be, and again, you know, really leaving the house at 8:45 and realistically not getting home until after 8, and then to cap off onto that. Right,
continue on Tennessee 33 North for 20 miles.
Appointment, which is, you know, going to take me a while, and so they went the whole day. Right, there was an easy 12-14 hour day in real estate that never stopped and just kept on going. So a lot of people, oh, you know, real estate agents are overpaid. I just did a video on that, or all that. Like today, I get paid $0 for today. Well, I had the closing arguably, but you know, I put all the time, energy, and effort into that post. But the fact that I'm doing essentially all this stuff, all this traveling around there, I get paid nothing. You know, if these people meet me and they, especially the strangers, right, and they say, yeah, I don't want to work with Steven, right? I don't get paid for that. If I meet them and they really like the house, I want to put an offer in, but they can't get pre-approved, I don't get paid for that. I don't get, so again, you know, the real estate's great where I want to make my own schedule and be my own boss and do all this. It's great, but ultimately, right, it's kind of like if you talk to a true business owner, and I think the more our business grows and the more other businesses that I dabble in, get into, like you really, like as a business owner, you don't set your schedule. I remember Dana White had an interview, Dana White, owner of UFC, and you know, it's like, oh, you know, when you own a business, like there is no like days off and time off. Like it doesn't exist. You're always going to be working, like holidays and family gatherings and all of that. You know, you have to make those sacrifices, especially early on. And there should be benefit later on in life if you're doing it correctly and growing. But man, it's a lot of sacrifices there. So as always, guys, if you have questions, holler anytime.